Hey everyone, it's Peter from Rock Daydream Nation, and today I've got a very special guest, Sebastian Bach. How's it going,
Oh,
Sebastian?
it's going great. Hello from Las Vegas. I can't wait to get Bach down under.
Absolutely. November, not too long to wait, playing all the capital
Yeah.
cities of Australia. Look, straight off the bat, mate, congratulations on Child Within the Man from last
Thank you.
year. That's a
Thank
banger of an album. My first question to you, given that Given Them Hell was released in 2014, why was there such a gap between albums?
Well, two years of those were the pandemic, so
Yep.
nobody was putting out records in 2020.
Yep.
So that was part of it. But there's no time limit on music. I,
Yep.
I just I just try to make albums that fit with the records I've already made.
Yep.
I love the quote by AC/DC, Angus Young. He's like, people say we've made the same song 100 times over. They're wrong. It's 101.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well,
I'm not trying to make the same song over and over, but I honestly know for a fact that if you like the song "We Are the Youth Gone Wild," you're gonna like the song "What Do I Got to Lose." There's no way you can't. It's the same spirit, fun, energy, the sound. Um, I don't do any. I didn't do anything different on the first record, Skid Row, as I did on Child Within a Man. I wrote songs with Rachel and Snake back then, and when we had songs ready to go that I loved, I would sing them and record them, and that's what I still do. I still do the same thing.
absolutely. Do you enjoy the songwriting process?
Yeah, I
Do
really do.
songs come easy to you?
It depends on who I'm writing with. Um, I've written the last two records with a guy named Devin Bronson, and
Yeah.
the producer Elvis Basquet, who I did Child Within the Man with. He is the easiest human being I've ever written songs with. Like, I'll give you an example. Like sometimes I hear melodies to sing, and sometimes I don't. Because I have a voice where I could either sing it low and clean, or high and dirty, or high and clean, or right in the middle, or rough or gentle. Like I can go anywhere with my voice. So sometimes I'm like, oh, well, what would be the best way to do this? Sometimes I hear immediately what I should do, like the song Hold On to the Dream. I heard all of that like the first time I heard the music. But the song Freedom, which I wrote with John Five of Motley Crue,
Yep.
he sent me this incredible music, like that riff. And like, he sent me that and the chorus music. And I had that music for 2 years, and I couldn't think. Like I did think of things to sing on it, but it was fucking terrible. It's just it just wasn't good. It wasn't. I couldn't think of a melody for that song that was as good as the music, and it was driving me mentally bonkers. Like it
Yep.
was. All I could think of in the chorus was so shitty. It was like, the boys are back in town. Dun, 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 dun. You best not be around. And I go, oh my God. And Jeremy, the drummer, he goes, really, dude? The boys are back at what? Have you not heard Thin Lizzy? And I'm going, okay, fuck this. I'm not. I'm going to start over. And just to get to the point here, like I said to Elvis, I go, dude, I can't think of anything that's as good as this music. And he goes, come here. And he brought me up to the bathroom in my room at his house, which is all tiled, which is where I was warming up my voice because it sounds good. And he goes, play the fucking song. And it goes, ba na 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 na. And he goes, freedom, you and na na. Well, he didn't have the words. He just goes, na na, da na 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 na. I go, what? I go, how did you just, why didn't I think of that? And it was so good and so obvious. And that was it. So he helped me write that. And I've done interviews where people say, why do you give a songwriting credit to the producer? And I go, because I believe in giving credit where credit was due. And if he didn't help me with that song, it would have sucked.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just saying, he's very easy to work with. And when I would not have an idea for a certain song, he would totally help me out in the easiest way. So I look forward to making more music with Elvis Presley.
Absolutely. It sounds like he's got the key to unlocking you,
well,
opening the door.
He's a huge fan of the first two Skid Row albums. Like he came to my management and said, I want to do a Sebastian Bach record.
Yep.
And we had talked about working together way back, like on Angel Down. Me and Elvis were talking. But that's when Halford put out his record Resurrection, and I loved that album. So I went with Roy Z, who did Resurrection, because I was enamored with that album at the time. But then in the pandemic, I was in my hot tub drinking wine, because what else is there to do?
Watch Netflix, maybe.
Well, I watched all of Netflix, the whole thing.
Yeah, like the rest, like we, us all. Yeah.
So I was bored out of my mind. I don't think you guys get Sirius XM radio down there. It's a satellite radio.
I think we do. We can access it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Eddie Trunk, DJ here, who does all the hard rock and metal news.
Yeah, that metal show. We know it. We know him. Yeah.
So I'm listening to Sirius, and I hear this song, and it's no matter what the distance is, I will be with you. And the sound of this song hit me so hard that my knees buckled. Like I heard this song and it was like a punch in the head, how much it hit me, like the sound of it. And I go, what, who produced this? Like it sounded different. I didn't know who it was. And then the song ended and the DJ said, that's Wolfgang Van Halen. Distance, the song he wrote for his dad, Eddie. And I immediately called my management. I said, who produced this? And they go, Elvis Presley. I go, what? The guy that wants to do my album? No way.
Yeah.
So I said, book the fucking out. Let's do it. Let's go. When I heard that Wolfgang song,
yeah,
I wanted to work with Elvis more than anybody in the world. And
it's got a really punchy sound to it, Sebastian.
Well, yeah, it's also
really
it's also mastered by a man by the name of Robert Ludwig, who mastered Led Zeppelin 2 and Kiss Alive and Steely Dan, and he did my album when he was in his 80s, and since my album he is retired. So there's no more albums that's going to be Elvis Presley with Robert Ludwig. And this album has that incredible sound that is like a modern sound, but it's also mastered by the guy who did the best albums of the 70s. So it's the best of the old with the new.
Nothing sounds like analog, does it?
Nothing. And I got the top guy that ever did analog. So, so you know, I'm starting to feel the itch to do another new record, but I really don't know how I'm going to top this one, man. Because
absolutely,
this one's really going to be a challenge to beat. But I love making albums. So,
can I get your opinion on somebody like an Andrew Watt? Do you like that sound, that sort of rock sound, that kind of more commercial?
He did the new Rolling Stones, right?
And Ozzy's last album. Did you like the sound of those albums?
Well, I love the Rolling Stones one that I heard because it sounded just like classic Rolling Stones. And Mick Jagger sound
Mm,
just like Mick Jagger. All I want to do is add to my catalog the people that like 18 Life or Youth Gone
mm,
Wild. I want them to like my new album.
mm,
So I do like Andrew Watt, but I knew Andrew Watt when he was, hanging out in Hollywood drinking at the Sunset Marquee. Like I have pictures on my phone of him like a teenager with long hair, and me and him having some drinks at the Sunset Marquee. So I knew him a long time ago, but I don't really know him now. Hi,
yeah,
Andrew.
absolutely, absolutely. So you're going to come to Australia and play the first album. Do you listen to a lot of your old material, or you are much a moving forward sort of guy? You don't really go back to the old albums too much. Listening.
Well, I listen to them all the time because I practice
Yep.
all the time.
Yep.
So if I've got a gig, the way my voice works, I'll circle the date that I have to sing. And at least 2 weeks before that or more, I'll start singing the set in my house.
Mm,
Uh, and I know how to warm up my voice to go on tour. I don't think a lot of singers have the knowledge. I think a lot of them just kind of go for it, and that's not how I do it. I need to be able to depend on my voice, even if I'm sick or I'm not sleeping. I'm not going to cancel the fucking show because I didn't know that that was an option.
mm,
I come from a time where you don't do that. Like
yeah, absolutely.
so I need to be able to depend on my voice, which I can. Knock on wood. Thank you.
You're coming out to Australia and you're bringing your son,
Yeah.
Paris, on drums. How good is that? That must be
Well,
fantastic.
there's a John Lennon song that says, "Life is what happens to you while you're busy making other plans." And my son has proven that he wants to play in this band. And I've had incredible drummers, but they all are in multiple different bands.
Mm,
My last drummer, Bobby, who's one of the best drummers in the whole world, he now plays with George Strait, who is country music royalty here in America. When George Strait plays a show, he has like Willie Nelson and Carrie Underwood opening up the show. Like that's how big he is. So, I mean, I don't blame Bobby, but I don't like when a band member leaves my band. I don't like finding another guy and rehearsing with another guy. I don't like going through that. Once you're in the band, you're in the fucking band, and I'm not going to change it unless you screw it up somehow. And my
mm.
son is not going to screw up playing with his own dad. If he does, I'm going to make him go mow the lawn.
I like it. I like it. But it must be great, that you're doing all these experiences and your son's behind
Yeah.
you and he's providing.
Well,
He's like your wingman. He's behind
I
you.
mean, I'm going to be honest with you. Rock and roll is not easy on a family life at all.
Yeah.
I did 91 cities in 2024. I did 91 shows in 91 cities. And I lost a lot because of that. I lost a lot of things in my family life that I don't really want to go into, but
Sure.
it takes a toll, and there is a cost when you leave your home all year. It's like going to war, or like it's not easy on a family life. So a lot of musicians like me that spend their lives on the road, we miss out on things like our childhood, our kids' graduation or birthdays, stuff like that. Like I was on the road with Guns N' Roses in my solo band when my son Paris graduated high school, and I couldn't go to his graduation. So to miss something like that of your own kid, it haunts you. your whole life as a parent. So to have him in my band now, I'm making up for that because we're spending time together constantly now. We're in a band. We're in the airport together. We're at sound check together. We're doing the show together. We're texting about the show. We're like, you know what I mean? So I'm making up for the times that I was not there for him. I'm making up for that now, and we're very bonded as a father and son. And I should say thank you to Mr. Eddie Van Halen and Wolfgang for showing me that that's something that can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. What would the 2025 Sebastian Bach tell the 20-year-old Sebastian Bach, right back to the debut? What sort of sage advice would the 2025 Sebastian give to the 20-year-old Sebastian Bach?
Well, I was married to my first wife for 19 years. And I met my first wife when I was 15 and she was 21. Paris's mom. That's when I met her. And I didn't know that marriage was a financial agreement between two people. I thought that, like, if you're with a chick and then you break up, that's it. I mean, I didn't know that I had to pay her money. We got divorced in 2011, and I just, like, 2 months ago settled with her. So I'm 57 years old, and I met her when I was 15. How many years is that? 15, 50. It's like 100 years.
Yeah, it is. 100 rock years.
But I didn't know that when you're 15 and you're with a chick and you break up, that you're still with her. I thought that was it. So I would say, dude, be careful getting married because it's a heavy commitment to another person. My dad tried to tell me that then, and I just ignored him.
Yeah,
that's what I would say. Yeah,
absolutely.
I would say at the age of 20 is too young to be getting married for sure.
Yeah. You've Gone Wild, I Remember You, 18 in Life. Why do you think these songs still resonate with so many people today?
Well, I would say that in Australia, particularly, our manager at the time, Doc McGee, and his brother, Scott McGee, who was actually more of our manager, but it was Doc and Scott McGee. They had a management philosophy of touring their bands in all the countries, not just America. So we were playing all the major cities in Australia in the year 1990. And there wasn't a lot of touring by US bands then.
Yes.
We were, like, what I'm saying is that I'm told all the time that Skid Row was one of the first. We weren't the first, but we were one of the first bands to tour, like, every city, every capitals, like every major city in Australia. There wasn't a lot of bands that did that at that time. So I think, and I know for a fact, like in Brazil, they tell me all, like, we played every city in Brazil in 1989, like Porto Alegre, Belo Horizonte. And the fans tell me that there was no bands from America playing those cities then. Like none. Like we were playing arenas in Brazil in 89. And so I think that's, each country is different. And the Australian fans tell me that in the year 1990, an American band doing a full Australian tour was still somewhat of a novelty. Like, Kiss toured, of course, in 1980. Of course, bands like Bon Jovi played and stuff like that. But we were one of the early touring bands in Australia.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I'm told.
I mean, we never saw Priest. Priest came out much
Right.
later, but we
That's
saw
what I'm
bands
saying.
like Iron Maiden.
Right.
They came out even at the start, and that's why they've got such a fan base over here,
Right.
because they kept on coming back. And that's why you've got a fan base here, because you
That's
kept
right.
on coming back.
Because people remember my whole vibe from 1990, and they're like, that motherfucker's still alive? He's coming again? Oh my God.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. People remember you and the Guns N' Roses. Like, you're still pretty close with Axl, aren't you? He's a close friend.
I haven't seen or spoken to him recently, but I did when they first reunited. I sang with the reunited Guns N' Roses in Vegas at Allegiant Stadium. I did a song on stage with them, and then the last time they played Los Angeles, I went to see them, and I hung out all night, 2 nights in a row, with Lisa Marie Presley, who is no longer with us, but she was at those Guns N' Roses show and me and my wife hung out with her the whole time and laughed and went to catering and watched the show together with her. And I'm like the same age as her. And so when she passed away, that was very sad, because we went to the Guns N' Roses show together. The second night we waited for Axl for like 6 hours or something, and we finally got so tired we split. But
I remember seeing you in Sydney, and it was Rose Tattoo, you, and Guns N' Roses and Fair Dinkum. They came on at about 2:00 in the morning. It was crazy. I've never been to a concert, a major stadium, where they've come out so late. And I don't think there were any trains, Sebastian, at the end.
No, I
People
know.
just had to find their own way home.
Well, he doesn't do that anymore. So
no, I know.
He's totally changed his ways.
Yeah.
But
when you see him, do you sort of pick up a conversation? It's like yesterday, you pick up the conversation with him?
I don't know what to say. He's a very mysterious dude.
Man of mystery. Mystery.
That's right. Yeah.
Slave to the Grind comes out in 1991 with a harder edge. Was that a conscious decision by the band that you wanted to go in that direction?
Yeah, because the last video from the first record was I Remember You, which was a monumental smash hit. And 18 in Life was a huge video. So we were looked at the end of that album as a ballad band. Like our big, huge hits were both ballads. I mean, Youth Gone Wild was a hit, but I Remember You. I have a gold single from Australia for the 45, I Remember You. So just that song, I have a gold record on my wall from Australia. So that's a major hit. And so we were tired of being looked at as a ballad band. And we were, in our early 20s, full of piss and vinegar. And so we said, we're going to rock as fucking hard as we can.
Yeah.
And we did.
I mean, it went to #1. That must have validated, hey, we're in the right direction. This is what we need to do.
I mean, at the time we were, but I never thought that we would only be around for 3 records. I thought naively that Skid Row would be like Rush or AC/DC and put out 20 records. It's not like I didn't want every album of my career to be as heavy as Slave to the Grind. That's the way we were feeling in our early 20s. But, I thought we would be making 25 albums, not 3 albums. So, I mean, if we got to make another record, it probably wouldn't be as heavy as that. Maybe it would be, but I like all kinds of music. That's just the way we were feeling in our early 20s,
And Subhuman Race showed that you were bringing on these other elements, and that was in the middle of alternative and grunge, and you were mucking it but it was showing some other influences. That was an interesting direction for the band.
Well, it was a very tough time to be doing a rock album. Um, uh, some of the production on that album, when I listen to it now, seems a bit strange to me.
Hmm.
There was a hilarious article on the internet a couple of years ago that I saw, and it said, "What is the origins of Lars Ulrich's drum sound on the album Saint Anger? Like, where did that come from?" And this writer traced it back to Skid Row's Subhuman Race. He goes, because Bob Rock did that, both albums. And some of the sounds on Subhuman Race are like extreme, like the drum sounds are just different sounding. And this writer said that Subhuman Race was the origin of the Saint Anger productions. I laughed my fucking head off when I read that.
Yeah, I'm not.
I think
sure
it's kind of true.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
Because like we wanted Bob Rock to be our producer because of the album Dr. Feelgood. We loved this. I loved the song Dr. Feelgood. I love the production. I go, that sounds fucking great. But by the time we got to Bob Rock, his favorite band was Veruca Salt. That's all he talked about when we met him was Veruca Salt. And we're like, the fuck is Veruca Salt? Like, we're into Motley Crue. Like,
yeah. Unbelievable. Well, that's the mid-90s, folks. It was a different world. But you guys held your own. That's what I was trying to say. You guys held your own.
No, I mean, we didn't. That tour was not very successful. The band broke up after that album, so I don't know if it's true that we held our own. We kind of broke up after that. But the album is good. I like I like the song "My Enemy" and "Breaking Down" and. But I got to be honest with you. I think "Child Within the Man" is a far more listenable record than that record. I'm not trying.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not trying to shit on it. I just know which album I'd rather listen to.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, I asked this question with a lot of my interviews. A lot of bands thrive creatively with personal conflict, and some don't. Do you think personal conflict is good for creating music, or it's not?
Well, to an extent. But
based on your experience, do you think it's been good?
Music has a life of its own, and us as human beings, we are so passionate about music that it causes musicians to argue about the music because we all want it to be the best it can be, and we all think we know how to do that. So you'll get a lot of butting heads, like David Lee Roth with Eddie Van Halen, or me with Rachel. Like I think I know how to do it best, and so does he. The sad part about it is that we're stronger together than apart. Or at least we were, maybe not now, but I just know that if we came together again, we would definitely make some good music because I know that we know how to do that. But we're so passionate about Skid Row, all of us, that we can't see eye to eye about the band, and it's very sad. And I just did a gig with Rob, the drummer of Skid Row, Rob Fuso, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and the magic between me and him is crazy. Like, you can feel it. He's in my new videos too. He's in "What Do I Gotta Lose" and "Hold On to the Dream" videos. And me and him have a chemistry that when we're on stage together is undeniable. And we both say to each other, man, this is really heavy, us two together. can you imagine if it was all five of us, the old band together? Like the chemistry and the nostalgia factor of seeing us five together would be really remarkable. And I hope it happens someday because we're all still alive. So
Absolutely.
hopefully it'll happen while we're still alive.
Yeah. How close has it ever got to becoming a reality? Has it
It
ever
got
been close?
Yeah,
Real
it
close?
got really close. I don't know how many years ago, like 6 years, 7 years ago, right before they got their singer from Dragon Force. I was under the impression that we were going to get back together. And it was New Year's Eve, and I saw online, here's the new Skid Row singer. And I go, you got to be fucking kidding me. And I texted them all, fuck you, fuck off. Like I was blown away that they were going to get like number 7 or number 8. And they said, oh, this is only temporary. Well, we figure out the reunion stuff, but you know, I'm an emotional dude. That's why I sing for a living. And when I saw that news, I was not happy about it at all.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think, as we call it, you wear your heart on your sleeve, and that's a good thing because you're passionate about what you do.
Especially since I'm wearing short sleeves. I
love it. If you saw any of the band members in an airport lounge, like Snake, would you go up to him and say g'day? Or you wouldn't say
absolutely.
G'day, yeah, no problem.
I sure would. Yeah, I would. I would. It's just so ironic that I play with so many other musicians. Like I'm in a corporate band called Royal Machines, which is Billy Morrison of The Cult, Steve Stevens, Josh Freese on drums. I play gigs with these guys all the time. I'm playing this Thursday with Billy Morrison, Steve Stevens, Run DMC, Mark McGrath of Sugar Ray. We're all on stage together. I have another band with Matt Sorum called Kings of Chaos, and we play shows all the time. I got my own solo band. So I play with many different musicians, except for the guys in Skid Row, which is so ironic. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't make logical sense. But maybe someday we'll pull our heads out of our asses and take a deep breath of fresh air.
Yeah, hopefully. Hey, you're a triple threat. You've done TV, film, and theatre. You've done Broadway theatre with Jekyll and Hyde and Rocky Horror. Would you ever be open to doing more of that?
Yes. It depends on the role. Like I also was Jesus in Jesus Christ
Superstar.
But each role in theater is completely different. My favorite one I did was by far Jekyll and Hyde because I'm a Marvel Comics collector. And one of my first comics I ever got when I was a kid was Marvel Classic Comics, Jekyll and Hyde, issue #1. And so for me, I was kind of playing a Marvel superhero on that play. And Jesus Christ, they're so mean to him. And at the end of the play, when I'm on the cross as Jesus, I have to be crying, like not pretend crying, really crying, because that's the role. And if you're not crying, you're not pulling it off. So after 6 months of doing that, I got tired of crying. I was like, I want to have fun on stage. I want to put my fist in the air and rock. I'm tired of pretending I'm going to heaven, after this next song to see my dad. And it's very emotional, a little too much. So every role is different. I would prefer to do a fun role than pretend I'm Jesus. Because ladies and gentlemen, newsflash, I'm not Jesus. I'm more close to Mr. Hyde.
You're so right for the role, because when you think about it, who was the first Jesus on? Was Ian
Ted
Gillan?
Neely.
Ian
Gillan
on the soundtrack.
On the album. And that's how,
yeah,
that's where I learned to sing that, was the Ian Gillan record.
amazing vocals, amazing
Mm-hmm.
vocals. Hey,
Although you got to, if you know the play, you got to admit, Judas gets all the cool songs. Like,
he does.
my mind is clearer now, at last, all too well, I can see what we all soon will be. When Judas was singing that, the first song of the play, I'm on the stage at the back, holding my arms out with my mouth shut, going in my brain, I should be fucking singing that song. The devil gets all the cool songs.
Well, he always does. He always does.
Yeah.
Hey, I hear you're a bit of a record collector. When you
Yeah.
tour the world, do you take time off and do a bit of a record
Yeah.
dig?
I love doing that. I love on a day off. I love disappearing into a record store. I've always said that if I didn't have a band, I would have my own record store, because that's where I feel content and happy. Like if I'm depressed or something, I'll go to a record store. That's what I did when I was a kid. I would always, after school, ride my bike to a record store and spend hours in there, like looking at every record. It's like a library to me, like reading the credits and looking at the artwork. And I was at a record store yesterday. We just played in Sturgis, and we all went in Rapid City to the record store, Black Hill Records. And I'll tell you what, I own Gene Simmons' Gargoyles from the Unmasked tour. And there is a series of merchandise in Australia in 1980 that had the Gene Simmons Gargoyles, like posters, and I don't have any of those. I'm telling any of you fans out there that want to meet me and say hello, I am looking for anything with the Gargoyles from 1980, Gene Simmons Gargoyles, any kind of merch, because they're in my living room over there. I would go get them, but I'm being kind of lazy right now. So if you want to meet Sebastian, any of the 1980 Kiss merchandise from Australia that had those gargoyles with Gene Simmons, I will get you a VIP meet and greet ticket. And I'm as a collector, I'm really, really looking for that stuff.
Well, you heard this here first.
Putting the word out.
I thought I'd wrap up this interview with a little bit of fun. And I understand you're one of the biggest Kiss fans in the world. If you don't mind, I'm going to flash up some pairs of albums, and you tell me which one you prefer. Okay, so it's like a Kiss album versus a Kiss album. So here we go. Okay. First one. Which one do you prefer?
Well, that's really, really tough. That's tough. I would say Hotter Than Hell, because I don't know why, but Hotter Than Hell is so dirty. I read online, Hotter Than Hell would be so much better if it had better production. And I just laugh when I read that, because what is the name of the record? Hotter Than Hell. What does the album sound like? Hell. It sounds like it was recorded in hell. So to me, dungeon. It sounds terrible, and I fucking love it. It's incredible. Like Strange Ways, Got to Choose. They sound like they're recorded in, like you said, a dungeon. And to me, it's fucking brilliant. It's if it sounded like Steely Dan, it would be called Hotter Than Heaven.
Yeah. That's why, just going off track, that's why I don't want them to remaster Black Sabbath Born Again. I like it.
Oh, I love Born Again. Oh, that's one of my favorite records.
I don't want Tony to clean it up. I like it as it is, because it sounds
I like it as it is, but I mean, I have an open mind, but those remixes very rarely, if ever, improve on the original, because your brain remembers all the imperfections and the sound of the analog and Born Again, man, the song Disturbing the Priest, oh my God, like that has some of the sickest vocals and screams that I've ever heard in my life, that song, Disturbing the Priest.
Zero the Hero, probably top 5 Iommi riff. I love that.
Yeah, well, it's also known as Paradise City.
What about these two?
Well, Creatures in the Night.
Yeah. Sorry, that one. Yep.
I mean, I'm always gonna go for the makeup and the costumes over the jeans and the t-shirt. You know, it's just
fair enough. And this is a solo versus an album which was pretty big in Australia.
Okay. I'm not seeing it.
Unmask.
Well, they're so different. They're so. I love them. I love them both equally. I mean, I love Ace's record because it's hard. I'll never forget buying that when it came out and going to my dad's art gallery and putting it on and hearing Rip It Out through. My dad had like a PA in his art gallery, and I couldn't believe how heavy Rip It Out was, and Snowblind. And that whole album is very heavy. And Unmasked is not heavy; it's more poppy. But I love I love Unmasked. I love the song "Is That You." I love the song "Naked City." I think the song "Torpedo Girl" is hilarious, like comedy. I love that album too. But they're completely different. They're not. I don't think you can compare those two as to which is better, because one is more of a hard rock metal album and one is more of a pop rock album.
That's why I chose them. I wanted to put something too different and just see which one you'd select if you were going into.
Well, if you put a gun to my head, I'd pick the Ace Frehley album.
Yeah, it's pretty.
But I love them. I love both those albums.
Yeah. Sebastian, it's been an absolute pleasure. And hopefully one day I'd love to get you back on the show because it's been a lot of fun talking to you. Please.
Why don't you put Kiss Alive up against Crazy Nights? I
think Kiss Alive's getting remastered. Isn't there some Fandango box sets coming out this year?
That's what I heard. I'll be first in line. Take my money. Take my money. Here's my money. Take it.
Again.
Again
and again and again.
That's right. Here you go.
Sebastian, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Check out all the dates in November, touring up and down the coast. And
I gotta tell you, I'm getting reports that all of these shows are very close to being sold out. Melbourne, the first one's already sold out. And I'm told Sydney is like 90%. So if you sell out another city, we might do a second show in that city. But that depends on availability. And if my son can handle all the Australian chicks that he's going to meet.
Warning.
There you go.
All the best. Thanks, mate.
All right, buddy.
With Sebastian.
Thank you very much. Great talking to you. Thank you for 36 years of rock and roll. Thank you.
All the best. See you.
All right, buddy.